Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is Sportsballin, your home for all things sports. My name is Ethan Markham, and as always, I'm joined by Connor Smith and Jace Vincent. You guys ready to talk some ball?
Absolutely. Another episode on deck, and a lot of fun college ball to talk about here tonight.
Yeah, man. Best day of the week talking ball with my boys. Let's get after it.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. There's never a boring week in the SEC, and Week 12 was no exception. As always, we've picked 3 games to recap, starting with Texas A&M's unbelievable 31-30 comeback win over South Carolina.
This was easily the most insane game of the weekend. It was like Georgia versus Alabama last year. Texas A&M was down 30-3 at halftime, and then their offense finally locked in. They put up 28 unanswered points, only ran for 64 yards, but Marcel Reed threw for nearly 500 yards. Just went insane, and then they get a defensive stand at the very end to stay undefeated.
Yeah, and I mean, in that game, Marcel Reed, he looked like both the worst quarterback and the best quarterback in the SEC in the span of 2 halves of football there. 22 of 39, 439 through the air, 3 touchdowns, 2 picks. So, hear this. SEC teams 0-286 in games where they're trailing by 27 plus in conference play. So, that's now up to 1 now.
It's crazy. I mean, I remember looking at my phone and just because I was busy, and I look at my phone, I see it's 33 at halftime, and I thought, all right, well, finally A&M's on fraud watch. But, I mean, how can you not feel great about Texas A&M going forward after that game?
Oh, I mean, it's awesome because, for one, that basically locks you up for the college football playoffs. But to build that momentum, I mean, you're down 30-3 at halftime at your own place. They could have easily lay down and be like, you know what, whatever. And they didn't. I mean, it took a while. They finally took the lead, I think, with 10 minutes to go in the game, but great fight from them. That's why they're one of the best teams in the country. I don't think there's a doubt that they're the best team in the SEC.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think that they're easily the best team in the SEC right now, the lone undefeated team. They're on pace to make their first ever SEC championship game and their first ever playoff appearance. So I'm excited to watch them because Marcel Reed probably is going to have a trip to New York, especially off of the second half of that game.
Likely.
I mean, there's no way he doesn't, right? I mean, I feel like, every week it feels like we've got a different favorite for the Heisman. But I think if you look at his last few games, I think, at least personally, Marcel Reed would be my Heisman pick.
No, 100%. He's played really well all year long. Plus, he's leading a top 3 team in the country. He's basically locked to go there unless the next 2 weeks just go horrible. But I thought it was funny. You mentioned that he looked like the worst quarterback in the SEC in the first half and the best in the second half. He made a TikTok, and one of my friends sent it in a group chat where his caption was literally, "Sorry for the first half, Aggie Nation." So
We'll now move on to our next game, and that's Oklahoma's big upset win over Alabama.
horrible.
Hey, buddy.
Horrible. I mean, hey, credit to Oklahoma. They played a good game. This was not Oklahoma winning the game. This was Alabama losing it. Alabama doubled them in total yards, doubled them in first downs, were the less penalized team, beat them in literally every facet of the game. But, I mean, 3 turnovers, especially a pick 6, which, by the way, pass interference, but it's okay. The referee didn't see it. He covered his eyes. Anyways, still, you can't turn the ball over 3 times against a defense like that and still win a ball game. So, I mean, Bama's put themselves in a spot where they've got to win against Auburn and Jordan Hare to make the playoffs. See if they can do it.
Yeah, and I think that this game for Oklahoma especially, you look at them now, they're 8-2, and they have games both at home now to finish the regular season. They're at home against Missouri, and they're at home against LSU, who's going through what it is right now with LSU. And they've won back-to-back top 10 road games, or top 15 road games, using their defense. I mean, their defense is finally now getting turnovers. They win the turnover battle against Alabama 3-0, and they got outgained 406 to 212, by the way.
Yeah.
But those 3 turnovers, it was really Alabama beating themselves up. But Oklahoma did this same thing against Tennessee, getting down, kicking field goals, and then they have a defensive touchdown, and it's enough to get them a win.
Yeah, and I mean, it really speaks volumes to where this Oklahoma team is at right now because you mentioned back-to-back on-the-road ranked wins, and neither of them were in an easy place to play. I mean, it'd be one thing to go get a ranked win at Missouri, right? But to go into Neyland at night and then to go to Alabama and win on the road there, I mean, this team looks so much better these last 2 weeks than they did earlier on in the season. I feel like there's a really good chance that we see Oklahoma make a really deep playoff run.
I wouldn't say they make a deep playoff run. I think that they're easily the team with the lowest ceiling going into the playoffs. They haven't really done much offensively with John Mateer.
But you don't have to if the defense continues. There's an old saying, it's defense wins championships.
I mean, yeah, but eventually when you play someone, you can't score 10 points and win the ball game.
Eventually, you would hope they would be able to pick things up. We'll go to our last game. That's going to be Texas just getting blown out by Georgia.
This was probably the most shocking result of the weekend. I mean, I definitely expected Georgia to win. I expected Georgia to cover the spread. I think it was 7.5 points or something like that. But the way that they just physically dominated Texas, especially on the offensive line versus Texas' defensive line, you got guys, Ethan Burke, Anthony Hill Jr., Colin Simmons. Like, that's one of the best, if not the best, defensive fronts in the SEC. And they ran through them like crazy, 35-10, very impressive victory. I said earlier that Texas A&M might be the best team in the SEC. Georgia's going to give them a run for their money. I think Georgia is going to make Atlanta, and it'll be a great game between two great teams.
Absolutely, and I think this is the first game all season that Georgia's played a full 4 quarters.
100%.
They've usually been playing from behind at halftime and only playing the second half. So, I mean, immediate response, my favorite part of the game is they're up 14-10. Texas seems to have all the momentum offensively and just for the game, and they make it 14-10, but then Georgia goes down, takes about 5 minutes off the clock, makes it 21-10, then they get the onside kick, and they get 28-10. And I mean, it was over from there. And you can just kind of tell watching the game that the difference in the staffs. I mean, they're two great staffs, but just that Kirby Smart staff is just so much better than Sark's, and that Sark's just getting kind of like coached in circles around.
100%.
And I really agree with what you said about this being the first time all season they've played a full game. I mean, there's been so many times this year where Georgia hasn't looked like the Georgia that we're used to. And for them, this is big for the Bulldogs to go up against a ranked team and finally show just how good they're supposed to be. I mean, that's huge, especially coming down the stretch at this point in the year.
Yeah, I mean, teams get better in November. This is when teams peak. This is when you want to peak and play your best football. Georgia's doing that. They're playing their best football. They have easily the best head coach in the country with Kirby Smart. Really dangerous team that could make a lot of noise in the postseason.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Gunnar Stockton, 24 of 29, 229, and 4 touchdowns.
Along with one on the ground. We'll take a quick break from the action, and when we return, we'll have MTSU and NFL football when we come back.
Oh, man. I can't believe I'm missing this. Okay, Grandma. I see you.
Don't get stuck at home with the flu. A flu shot is the best way to prevent the flu and its potentially serious complications. It keeps you, your community, and loved ones protected. Don't get flu FOMO. Learn more at getmyflushot.org.
I don't think that many kids in my son's school even do it.
He makes fun of his friend who vapes.
He would never try it.
She's into soccer.
She's on the honor roll.
She's just not the type.
No way.
No way.
No way.
No way, my kid would never vape.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping, maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
Last night, the Lions took on the Eagles on Sunday Night Football in a game that lacked a lot of offense, resulting in a final score of 16-9. The loss drops the Lions to 6-4 and the Eagles to 8-2. And guys, as the playoff picture starts to form, how do we feel about both these squads?
You know, when you look at the Eagles, I think they're in a similar place as what Georgia football was a few weeks ago, where they're winning these games in all different kinds of ways. We've seen them win shootouts, defensive slugfest 2 weeks in a row. They're looking like probably the best team in the NFC without a doubt. The Lions, though, they got some issues. I get they've played some tough games, but 6-4, you got some serious concerns.
Yeah, and I think that kind of leaves concerns with the majority of the NFC North, really. I mean, when Chicago's up there, Chicago's been playing good, but
They shouldn't.
the weather conditions were what they were last night for that game. The wind was howling, you could say. I mean, both quarterbacks threw for around 50% completion-wise. So it was all about the defenses last night, and I feel like when you get into a game like that, you can always just like trust Philly with that defense and the amount of stars they have that are young talent that they can definitely clutch up and win a game for you.
Absolutely. I mean, they've got one of the best defenses in the NFL, maybe arguably the best. They're always going to be able to keep you in games, but you've just got to hope that at some point this team starts to put things together as we get closer and closer to the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, it was a nasty game. Neither team's offense were good. The run games got shut down, but, I mean, in the end, it was Philadelphia's defense that they just executed in big-time spots. I mean, the Lions were 0 for 5 on 4th down. If you get a couple of those, maybe the outcome's different. But, hey, it wasn't. Philly executed at an elite level. So hats off to him.
Yeah, missed extra point doesn't help really either.
Does not.
Absolutely. This past Saturday, Middle Tennessee fell to rival Western Kentucky 42-26. The Blue Raiders were without their veteran starting quarterback Nicholas Vadiato, but that did bring about a bright spot, being the electric freshman debut of Roman Gagliano.
Yeah, Roman was outstanding. 471 total yards. That's, I believe, #1 for a freshman quarterback and a quarterback making his first start in MTSU history. Also second most in a single game in program history. He was sensational, gave the offense a much-needed spark that we haven't seen in a while. MTSU played a really good game for 3 quarters, but it just seems that they lack, the depth and talent that in the fourth quarter or so, it goes bad. I mean, we've seen the last few weeks that they're competing in ball games and then pull the Tennessee Titans and just get shellacked in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, and I mean, Roman Gagliano, he was great. I mean, 25 of 42, 389, almost 500 total yards himself, and had a couple of touchdowns in the air. But what hurt Middle Tennessee was really, their defense. They gave 642 total yards of offense. And when they got down to 28-26, you were talking about they had a chance there, but then just kind of like they ran out of gas a bit there in the last 6 minutes of the game. And it just felt like that's where Western Kentucky really took over there. And, Mason era, you can say what it is about the Mason era, but, Gagliano, there's a little bit of hope there offensively.
100%.
I'd say there's a lot of hope. You talk about a team that's been dead in the water for what feels like the entirety of the season, then out of nowhere, you make one simple adjustment, and the team looks so much better against a pretty solid Western Kentucky team. I think there's a lot of optimism, at least going down these last few games for the season. Especially
with how you played against this Western Kentucky team, because obviously the score is not how you wanted it to end up. But a lot of people don't think about this. They were without Najee Cox, Jacob Otts, their starting left tackle, Jaquel Middlebrook, who's arguably the best running back in Conference USA, and then several guys on defense like Muaz Bayard, Alex Mitchell, so on and so forth. So you competed with a team that is probably going to win or play in the conference championship with a backup redshirt freshman quarterback, and you still competed for 4 quarters.
A lot of optimism for the Blue Raiders. We'll now go to hear what's going on outside of the studio for the word on the street on Sportsballin.
What's up, everybody? It's Maggie with Sportsballin, and today we're going to be playing Who Said It? Philosopher versus Athlete Edition. Okay, I'm here with...
My name's Tanner.
Okay, Tanner, I'm going to tell you some quotes. You got to tell me if a philosopher or an athlete said it.
Got it.
Okay, first one. You can't be afraid to fail. It's the only way you succeed.
Definitely an athlete.
Okay, which athlete?
Can I get a hint?
Basketball?
LeBron.
Yes!
Good.
Athlete?
Mm-hmm.
Yes! Actually!
Okay, cool.
Okay, I'm here with...
Benjamin Joseph Buckley III.
Okay, Benjamin Joseph Buckley III. I'm going to tell you some quotes. You're going to tell me if a philosopher or an athlete said it, okay? Okay, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Michael Scott. Just playing. That's an athlete and Michael Jordan.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Okay, that's definitely an athlete.
Okay.
A basketball.
Tiger Woods.
No. 100% of the shots you don't take.
Oh, that's definitely an athlete.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but I don't remember. Michael Jordan?
No.
Oh, hockey.
Yes. You know any hockey players? No. Greatest of all time. No. Wayne Gretzky. That's okay.
She said it.
You said it, yes.
Yes. Okay. He's the greatest of all time of his sport.
LeBron James? I don't know.
Okay, so she thinks LeBron James is better than Michael Jordan.
I don't.
He played hockey.
Oh, then I definitely don't know.
Okay, it was Wayne Gretzky. Will to win, the desire to succeed, the urge to reach your full potential. These are the keys that will unlock the door to personal excellence.
I think any of these are philosophers. The will to win, that's making me think about. Could that be an athlete?
More difficult, the victory, the greater the happiness in winning.
That sounds like an athlete.
Okay, it is. Can you tell me which one?
I'm going to say philosopher.
He is correct. It is philosopher.
Damn it, what philosopher?
Do you know philosophers?
Which one is it?
You're supposed to tell me which one it is.
Socrates, Aristotle.
0 for 2. Sadly deceased. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that.
Oh, he's dead? Pele?
Yes! You work for what you get. Nothing is given. Everything is earned.
Did I already say his name?
We previously said his name before the video started.
Oh, it's my guy, Steve McNair?
Yes, Steve McNair. Good. To find yourself, think for yourself.
Athlete?
Not quite.
Philosopher?
Yes. Do you happen to know which philosopher?
I don't.
Got a guess?
I always guess between Socrates and Aristotle, so I'm gonna say Socrates.
Correct!
Yay!
Yay! This has been Maggie with Street Ballin', and as Marshawn Lynch said, I'm just about that action, boss.
And welcome back. It's time for our hot takes of the week. And Jace, we'll start with you.
Yeah, my hot take's going to start in Columbia, South Carolina. They need to keep Shane Beamer. I know. You look at this game. It was terrible. They only blew a 30-3 lead. And
Only?
I mean, you look at what he's done there. I mean, look at the expectations that have been on him at South Carolina versus, like, when you look at the win totals put on them from Vegas and look at those numbers, and they've exceeded those expectations every year but two. Now this will be the second one where they don't. But you look at what they've done, 8 and 9 win seasons almost every year at South Carolina, and you look at the job market now, there's not many jobs that South Carolina's going to get or better coaches if they get rid of Shane Beamer, I think.
That's just not true at all. Like, Shane Beamer wins 7 to 8 games a year, and just because you've not been great doesn't mean you can't start. I mean, they were a really good program 10, 15 years ago, and it's proof that they can be one of the elites in college football. Shane Beamer has blown, I don't know how many games. He blew Alabama, he blew Texas A&M, he blew about 3 other games. I think it's time to officially kick him out.
Yeah, I mean, you just can't. There's no excuse for losing, blowing a 30-3 lead. I mean, all you got to do is put up any points. Any points in halftime. Just drain the clock. Just do anything. That's a coaching issue. That's a coaching issue. Here's the thing about Shane Beamer. Every year he might get you one big win, and that's about all he's going to do for you. You're going to win maybe 6 games. You might, the ceiling is always 8 games, but you won't be surprised if they only win 3. That's the thing. We said the same thing about Ole Miss a few years ago, and then they bring in Lane Kiffin, and look at where they're at now. I mean, they're going to
doing that under Lane Kiffin until 2 years ago.
That's just not true.
It's just Shane Beamer sucks. We'll now go to Connor.
I'm going to say that MTSU has been playing the wrong quarterback all season. I know a lot of people love Nick Vadiato. He's a great guy, great person, but I'm sorry, Roman Gagliano came in and immediately sparked the offense on Saturday, put up nearly 500 total yards, 2 touchdowns, had a much more efficient day than Vadiato has had all season long, even dating back to last year probably. Nick puts up gaudy stats because they throw the ball at the end of the game when they're down. The point is Roman is a better quarterback, and if they would have had him, they probably would be pushing for a bowl game right now.
I mean, pushing for a bowl game with this team's a little that might be.
I mean, considering they've lost like 3 or 4 games because the offense here turned the ball over in the red zone, which allowed a score, they just couldn't get it done at the end of the game.
I think that they would win a couple more games, like the Missouri State game, the Jacksonville State game, or like the Delaware game in that aspect. But
and at that point, you're looking at
your 4 and 5.
So then you are pushing for a bowl game.
6, yes.
Yes.
So, and then you play Sam Houston. So
yes.
Which is going to be a great game, by the way. But I mean, I agree that they would be in a better spot, but I don't know necessarily if that's the best thing for Gagliano because this team is like that bad. Nick's running for his life every play. Gagliano would be in the same situation. I don't know if that's the best. It's like starting a rookie quarter. It's like starting Cam Ward for the Titans. It's just not. It's not the best thing for his development.
Yeah. See, as much as I love Roman, he doesn't play defense, so that defense is terrible. And
it's still better option than Nick. Nick takes too many unwarranted sacks. Puts the ball in harm's way.
I'm not saying it's not. I'm thinking he's better. I just think that using the growth behind Nick works, and then you get him in late in the season, and he goes into next season.
I guess.
And it works.
We'll go to mine now, and this is one that I know Connor disagrees with, but I feel like Penn State made the right decision. I think firing and moving on from Coach James Franklin was the right call. I think Franklin's a great coach, and now that he is, just as of a few hours ago, going to be a Virginia Tech Hokie, I think he's going to be phenomenal with the Hokies. But I don't think it was meant to work out at Penn State.
That's so stupid.
How is it stupid? So let me read you something real quick. So he's 2-21 against he was. He's not there anymore. 2-21 against AP top 6 ranked teams. 15-31 against top 25 teams. When you get to a point where you're supposed to be one of the 3 best teams in your conference and you can never get over the hump, at a certain point, you have to be willing to move on. You've got to be able to elevate and win.
I mean, sure, but at the same time, what other coach, I understand he couldn't win the big game, but what other coach are they going to get that's going to elevate them? He was winning 10 games a year. He had multiple major bowl game victories. He had them nearly in the college football playoff national championship last year. You are not going to get a better coach than that because, listen, the big dogs like Kalen DeBoer or Ryan Day or Marcus Freeman are not leaving for that job. You're going to have to go and get some G5 Billy or whatever his name is, or some guy that's going to have to prove himself and develop down the line. You're not going to get anyone better than James Franklin right now. That's a dumb move.
You might not right now, but the thing is that, again, at a certain point, you have to be able to say, you know what, hey, I'm tired of winning just 9 games a year. We have the roster, we have the NIL, we have the structure. We should be pursuing championships, not 9-3 trips to the Pop-Tart Bowl.
I mean, yeah, but at the same time, in order to fire someone and elevate, you have to have a coach that's better, that's on the market. They don't have that.
We have nothing from Jace on this.
I think they made the wrong move. James Franklin, they should have said they were literally 1 game away from the national title, and they were almost there. So you don't fire him one win.
We'll be back here in a moment. We'll have our favorite segment. It's Connor's question right after this.
What are you doing in there?
What's that?
I wouldn't do that. What are you doing? What are you looking for?
I don't remember how it started.
North of that. Oh boy.
Our back and forth. It always came back.
Dad!
You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
If you love them enough to crawl into a play place to get them to come down, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
It's now time for Connor's question. And Connor, what do you have for us this week?
Thanks, Ethan. This week I have, is Notre Dame the most overrated college football program of all time? On the record book, 13 national championships, 7 Heisman winners, and over 900 wins. It looks nice, but they're a product of on-field product before they had color TV. Since 1977, just 5 major bowl wins aside from last year and 1 national championship. At one point, they had not won a major bowl game for 20 plus years, but they're still this massive brand, and the brand carries them to where people think that they're an elite program when they're simply not. They're just the Penn State with their own TV network.
Overrated is what I'm going with. That's what your screen says. But no, I'm going to say that I would say that before they had Marcus Freeman. I think that they're on the right trajectory now with Marcus Freeman, that they played for a national title last year and that they can look better. And I would still say they're a little overrated in terms of that aspect, in terms of being a program, because they haven't won a national title since,
1977, only 5 major since last year. Seven major bowl wins.
Before last year, they hadn't won a major postseason game since 1991.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
most overrated college football program of all time, because people think that they're in the realm of the Bama, Michigan, Ohio State, and they're simply not.
No.
I think that it definitely hurts them not being in a conference. you know, because there's not a lot of credibility to their schedule. You know what I mean? I mean, they can schedule whoever they want.
They're playing you and I every week.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, I'm suiting up against them, you know, this coming Saturday. Like, it's hard to give that validation.
And now they played 1-9 Boston College.
There's got to be, no, that's a challenge. There's got to be, I don't think they're the most overrated.
Then who is?
Who is? Well, okay, never mind. You might be right.
Yeah.
Let me think. Well, I mean, if you give me a little bit of time to think about it, right?
Let me ask you, why is Notre Dame ranked ahead of Miami?
Why is Notre Dame ranked ahead of Alabama?
I mean, they both have 2 losses, and Miami beat Notre Dame. That's the reason I'm asking.
That's what I'm saying. It's biased because they have this big brand, national television station.
They lost their 2 big games.
Yeah, like
granted by 1 score.
But still, they lost those games, and you have to win those if your 12 games on your schedule, if 2 of them are big and then the other ones are Boston College followed by me and Connor,
no, hold on.
Then it's, you know, no.
The more you talk about it, the more I agree with you. The 2 best things you can say about Notre Dame are that they lost to Texas A&M, lost to Miami, and this is 3, I know, but they beat Navy.
By the way, Rudy was offsides.
Rudy was offsides. Rudy is a fan fiction movie.
Rudy is a bad movie in general. It's a terrible movie.
He's a fraud.
He's literally on fraud watch. That's all we've got for Connor's question, but stick around as we wrap things up with our picks for the week.
There's only one thing that will save somebody's life, and that is naloxone nasal spray. Get 911 on the phone, get the emergency responses there on their way.
We're now here at our last segment for the night, our picks for the week, starting with number 23, Tennessee at Florida.
You know, my 2 co-hosts are going to be mad at me, okay? But Swamp Voodoo ends this year. Swamp Voodoo is done. Tennessee walks into the swamp, beats Florida 31-17.
You can do that. That's your pick.
What's your pick?
I'm picking Florida. Tennessee's never winning at Florida ever again the rest of my life. It's never happening. Florida's winning.
Again, like it happened. It has not happened within our lifetime. I'm gonna pick Tennessee just because I don't want to pick against them because it hurts. But Florida's probably gonna win that game.
We're gonna be Florida's 4th.
I'm accepting it. Vanderbilt versus Kentucky.
Anchor down. Kentucky's a dumpster fire. Vanderbilt's fighting for a playoff spot.
Yeah, Kentucky got their biggest win of the season against Tennessee Tech last week. They're now, 5-5? Vandy's going to win by like 20.
Yeah, give me the Commodores. I don't think it's much of a game. I feel like that's pretty good. But it sets up, in my opinion, Tennessee to beat them the very next week. Titans and Seahawks.
Sam Darnold had the worst game of his season so far in a loss this Sunday. I think he's going to come in there and light Tennessee's rear end up. Give me the Seahawks by like 50.
Yeah, the Rams were all over Sam Darnold yesterday, and they forced them into their worst game offensively, and they still almost won. So with that being said, give me Seattle by like 20.
I am not picking the Titans, ever. Give me the Seahawks. Colts versus Chiefs.
Colts, baby.
Give me Kansas City, actually. Kansas City's going to lock in and beat the Colts.
Give me Jonathan Taylor and his band of misfits. That's all the time we have for tonight. We thank you for tuning in. Remember to look for all future episodes of Sportsballin on Blue Raider TV and YouTube every week on Tuesday. For Connor Smith and Jace Vincent, I'm Ethan Markham. We'll see you around. Good night.